All right, welcome back to SnakeFang Podcast. I'm your host, Logan James, and again, I am joined by the co-host, Greg Matthews. Welcome back again. We were here Tuesday for Nonsense News, and now we're back Sunday for Nonsense News again. Hopefully we can do one this coming Tuesday that's not just this news segment, because this is something that everyone does, man. Everyone does. But I mean, oh well, you can get whatever you get. So you know what I mean? So
I don't think you know what you're saying right now.
I'm saying that
No.
I'm gonna get whatever I can get. Like if this is all I can get for the time being, whatever. You know what I mean? So
Sure, man.
it's a nonsense news segment again. So I have some stuff ready.
First off, where did you get that hat though?
Why do you want to know? For the audio listeners, I'm wearing a Jurassic Park hat and Greg's wearing an Adidas hat. Why do you care about do you want this hat?
No, I'm just curious. I can't ask a question. Where'd you get your hat?
I got it from Steven Spielberg. No, I got it from Forever 21.
How much was it?
$12?
It's not bad.
Yeah, how much was your hat? And the rest
$15.
Where'd you get your hat at?
At the Adidas store.
Wow, never gonna go there to get that, man.
It's good for playing tennis. It's lightweight.
Oh, is that what it is?
See,
I'm
it's
sure.
dry fit, climate light.
Well, it'd be good to play tennis in this hat as well because it has a T-Rex on it, and people would be scared of you while you're playing
probably.
them, and they'll think
Where's
you're
your
an
MTV
idiot.
hat that I gave you though? You used to rock that all the time.
Dude, I just
you
go
got
through
rid of it?
hats, dude. I try and switch
Well,
it
give
up.
it back then.
No, I'm gonna still wear it. But yeah, this is the nonsense news segment. So just to get right into it, man, let's talk about not the sadness. We'll get into that a little bit later. But so there's a flying car. I guess you could call it a flying car. It is called the Kitty Hawk Flyer. It's an electric car. And it's actually developed by, well, it's not developed, but Larry Page, the co-founder of Google, is the individual that's actually funding this project. And I showed it to you, right?
Yeah.
So I guess it's a big deal. I don't really see the big deal out of it. They call it a flying car, but to me, it really looks like a flying canoe.
Yeah, it's not anything.
Like, it looks just like...
You're not going to drive that. It was like 3 feet off the ground. You're not going to drive that on the street.
Well, yeah, no, of course. And so
how is it a flying car if you're not going to drive it on the street? Like, that's got to be the first criteria. Flying car. So 2 things it has to do. 1, it has to fly. 2, it needs to drive on the street. And if it's not going to drive on the street safe, that thing... Yeah, it was like a flying canoe. It was more, it was
a
like
scare down, like, pond plane.
It was like a drone.
That's what it was.
Like a big drone.
Yeah, one of the things that they call it is just like a big drone. And that's what I'm saying. It's just like, it's literally just like a drone canoe. Like, there's not even any cargo space. But I do understand that this is the first phases of things. So, I mean, it could lead to something spectacular. A lot of people are doubting that it will. But, I mean, right now, like...
You can't have flying cars on the road, though, man.
Well, it wouldn't
People start trying to fly over traffic, then everyone's trying to fly over each other. Like, it'd be disastrous.
I mean, you could do it some way, somehow, where basically...
Think about if everyone's on I-4, and all of a sudden there's an accident. And so all the cars are backed up, so everyone starts trying to fly over. Like, dude, no one would drive on roads. They would just try, instead of driving down I-4 and getting off on an exit, you just go in the air and go straight to your A to B to your point.
Well, it would
and until you have actual control of traffic, air traffic, it would get so congested once you had a lot of people in the air.
Well, see, this is the thing.
disastrous.
You're thinking, yeah, I do understand what you're saying, but so from my point of view, what I would see it as, I would see that it's a very plausible scenario, and it would work very efficiently, because what I would see play out is that it would be a fully regulated, it'd have to be fully regulated, just like cars, but fully regulated down to a T, where essentially it's a tier system. Depending on whichever vehicle you have, that's the flight space that they give you. They grant you flight zone 1, which is this level, and then they put restrictions.
It needs to be automated at that point. You can't trust people to do that, dude.
What I'm saying is they put restrictions.
People can barely drive a car.
Just like so they put restrictions on this Kitty Hawk Flyer, where basically the restrictions are in the software, and the elevation is only 10 feet, and the max speed is 20 miles per hour. It can go faster than that and go higher than that, but they put restrictions on it. And then it could also play the same way out into like flying cars, where you get zone 1 and it's so high up. Then this other person can only be in zone 2 and it's so high up. In zone 3, and then it's just like a tier system. So basically, yeah, you would basically displace all the congestion and people would just be higher and higher up. It's just like a bridge system essentially. Or
dude, you don't want airspace to be congested with stuff, especially low airspace. Like, that's why planes, it doesn't matter. They're so high in the air and they're so far spread out. I mean, but even think about planes. Like, if air traffic controllers were not there to constantly direct planes, like, you would have serious accidents. And think about how much space is out there and how many flights there are compared to how many people drive on the road. You want to put all those people on the road in the air?
Well,
chance.
Yeah, and of course you're talking about like,
and
dude, right now, yeah, no, I don't think that it's viable. And like I said, even most people believe it's still decades and decades and decades far out,
centuries.
I don't necessarily think centuries.
I think at least till the next century.
I would say my high point is 50 years. And then I would say 30 years is the low point for me.
Your high point for having flying cars.
Yeah, for having
how many people
having a viable flying car. It would probably, like, I'm saying that'd be like the beginning phase of that actual, like, instituted into the
phase.
Yeah, like the beginning phase where it's just like they're actually in a city but not all over the nation.
Dude,
just
like, we're still trying to get self-driving cars, man.
No,
it's gonna take 50 years.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. Like, no, self-driving cars isn't going to take 50 years.
No, it's not. I think it's going to happen really fast. But I am, like, the more and more stuff that comes out about, like, these small accidents, like with Tesla, the guy dying and stuff. Like, dude, people are going to be very, very hesitant and very scared to trust a vehicle to drive them around, man.
But that's just fear-mongering. It doesn't make any sense to me because even... I
agree, but, dude, it still doesn't
there's
matter.
More
people
car
don't
accidents.
Give that control away.
There's more car accidents in a car.
I know, but how many people have really experienced car accidents?
A ton.
But like serious car accidents.
Yes.
Not everybody.
I was in a serious car accident.
I've not been, so.
I know several people that have been in serious car accidents.
There's definitely
I will tell you
some, but not everyone has been in it.
I'm not saying not everyone.
And I'm saying, like, even you've been in cars for 25 years now, and you've been in one serious car accident. Like, people will take those odds with them in the control rather than giving a control to a computer GPS. I would immediately, because I'd rather try to get other stuff done. I'd rather watch movies or read books or do whatever I needed to do on my way somewhere rather than have to pay attention to the road. So I would, but I'm saying the general population, dude, especially older generation that is not still savvy with, like, the internet and technology, dude, they would not want anything to do with.
Well, I mean, I've been in 3 serious car accidents, actually. I mean, there's a lot of people that have been in car accidents, but what they're doing is they're just trying to basically point the finger directly because it's supposed to be self-driving and stuff like that. Like, I mean, the media is just pushing that agenda when car accidents happen every single day. Like, I just passed one earlier today.
Every single day. Every minute.
But then you basically get the scared tactics like you're talking about where people aren't going to want to go and do something like that. I don't even know. I don't even know if would you fly this Kitty Hawk Flyer electric car? Would you have it's not even, I wouldn't even say that it's a car. But would you get into it just to try it out?
For fun and for free, sure.
Yeah, for free, definitely.
You want me to pay $1,500? No. You want me to pay $5? No.
Yeah,
maybe $5 I would do it.
Yeah, and I think basically you only have to do 2 hours of training for it, and you don't have to have any license whatsoever because basically that's why
just doing it over a lake in like a random isolated area.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's over lakes right now, and also with that restriction, the 10 feet to 20 miles per hour, they don't classify it as an airplane, so you don't have to have a pilot's license to fly those. It's crazy. But, I mean, other companies are coming out, like Uber and Airbus are coming out with air taxis. I mean, it's the same kind of concept, except instead of having a designated pilot driver, you're just a solo person in these. Yeah. I mean, I'll like to see where it ends up in the next 10, 15 years, but as of right now, I think it's just really gimmicky. I mean, still, it's a guy, I mean, Larry Page, he co-founded Google. He's just trying to do more and innovative things for society, so I can see where he's coming from. It's pretty good. Yeah. Cool. But I don't think it's going to be viable at the moment. But you can join a waiting list and be one of the first ones to be able to purchase it when it does go on sale.
Thanks. How much is it? $100,000?
Dude, it probably... I don't know, right? It's only
a stupid number.
So right now it's only 250 pounds and it has 10 battery powered propellers and it's like 2 joysticks. It's just like playing a video game. I don't think that they really spend that much money on it. I guess maybe the software, something like that, but who knows? But on to the next tech thing that I
Warn
have.
me.
Hey, man, that's actually super interesting, man.
Why is that interesting?
Because, dude, they just built a dude sitting in a canoe.
Terrible.
Flying
video.
a drone.
That video was a waste of time.
That he's like, so that was Casey Neistat. He's like one of the most famous YouTube influencers there are today. And they got him to go out there to advertise it. So, I mean, hey, you never know. But the next thing I'm talking to you about is something that is going to affect your life. Because you do use this service a lot. So do I. Do you know what it is? Think of any service that you tend to use a lot. Say like on a Friday night. Uber. Yeah.
I don't use it anymore because I live.
Yeah. But you know.
Sick, but yeah.
Yeah. So
I got it right away.
Uber's
On a Friday
developing an AI system to know when you're drunk. So basically what it's doing is it's going to be detecting the individual's behaviors when they're like typing in addresses, how fast it's being typed, if they're misspelling things, stuff like that, so they could detect if you're going to be a drunk passenger.
Really?
Yes, because right now they don't have any way of knowing if you are drunk at the moment. So they're trying to implement that because...
Dang, that's savage.
Well, I mean, it's good because they're not trying to basically disassociate with drunk individuals riding
Ubers. They want to help get people rides home, but they want to give that information to drivers, or are they going to charge them more?
They want to give it to drivers. They want to give it to carpoolers too, because in bigger cities, a lot of people do that Uber carpool. Yeah. So they want to know if a person that's getting in there is going to be drunk, or if the person that's already in that carpool is drunk. It's like, I'm not going to get in there. And then if there's a driver... they don't want to do it because it's basically they've had a lot of different issues come out lately where, I mean, there's been assault, battery. Like I've heard of people basically start screaming and yelling at the Uber drivers.
We saw someone almost get in a fight. Not with the Uber driver, it was someone else for getting in their Uber. It was funny. Did I tell you that story?
Yeah, no.
Did I tell you that story though?
Yeah, I heard
of in Toronto.
Yeah,
so
I heard about that.
It was so funny.
But I mean, it's still good. Like, if you're not one of those individuals that get overly intoxicated, and like, I mean,
I feel like I would
fine.
still be, dude. And Mitch, that's been on this podcast before, would get so mad at me for saying this, but turn it off. Like, turn it off when.
Turn what off?
Being drunk. Like when shit hits the fan. Like, yes, I get that. Like, there's a certain point of like blackout where like you're just sleeping, like you're passed out, like you drink so much that you're dead. But like when you're on that border of like you're feeling good and you're being drunk and like you're out at a club and like you're partying, you're having fun, you're laughing, you're having a good time, but then like something serious happens, like someone gets hurt or like you lose a friend, like you can snap out of it and be like, okay, I know I'm drunk, but like focus up, I got to do this. Like it's all about focus. That's all it is. Like being drunk just takes you out of your focus. Like you're no longer you no longer care about like what's going on around you. You no longer have your observation of like things that are going on. You no longer care about like volume levels. Like everything just gets a little bit more relaxed and loose. You know what I mean? But like in that moment, if you just focus like on your app, like Uber, crush it. Type in the address. Like if you just like
seriously, but what's funny is like
I've been hammered and like drunk, texted or Uber or Snapchat or whatever, like saying stupid, just rambling, whatever. But like when I have to do something serious and I've had a few drinks, like say I get a work call or like I have a work email and I've had a few beers, like I know that I can be like, but I can also like focus down and like sit down and like, okay, listen, I got to get this done. And like knock it out when you really sit down and focus.
But I don't know if that's for everybody. What comes to mind is the like Wolf of Wall Street scene where he thinks he's completely fine walking. He's like, yeah, I got this. He's trying to focus his hardest, drives the car, gets there, and then it like the next day, like the cops come to the house and they're like, what the hell happened? Yeah. And then he's like, oh no, what did I do? The car's like demolished. Yeah. And like it goes back to like he was trying to walk and he couldn't walk and he was crawling to the car. I could see that happening where like you're trying to focus, you're doing it the best you can, but still you're thinking you're doing it, but
like
you don't.
So many people just like whenever they get drunk, they're just like, whatever. So like they will do that. Like Uber, that will work on a lot of people because people will like pull up Uber and they're like pull up the app and then close it. Like they'll do things like that. Like how many times has this person opened the app in the last 5 minutes? They can't figure it out. Like they're so drunk that they can't figure it out. They're like, oh, and like typing in address is typing the wrong address and like redoing it. But like I wouldn't be someone, no matter what situation, even if it's not like a high pressure situation, like I want to take control of situations. So if I'm with a group of people and we're all super drunk and we got to get somewhere now and I'm in charge of ordering an Uber, I'm going to focus and make sure I get it done. You know what I mean? Especially more so in those instances where people are drunk and stuff. Like I've made a mistake with Uber. The only time that I've made a mistake, I typed in the wrong address, but it was on like a Saturday morning. I was going to meet someone. I had luggage with me. Like I just
were you drunk?
No, I didn't have Wi-Fi, so I ordered it real quick. And I had to run down because it was in Canada, so I didn't have internet. But I was one street off. Like I had it pretty much. That was the only time. But I was being sloppy. Like if I truly just wasn't focused on the task that I was doing. If you focus, whether you're drunk or not, if you just focus on the task, like okay, I need to order this Uber. Like it's very complicated for some drunk people. Like that will work for sure.
No, it's definitely gonna work. And
where's the Uber at? And then like they're calling, they're like on the wrong street corner. And the Uber's like that road's closed, especially like in downtown Orlando. Like all the roads are closed. So like where do I go? Like dude, I know right away. Even when I'm drunk, I know I'm going to Garland and Washington. I'm ordering the Uber right there at that corner.
I always go to that.
I-4. I always do that. Like people don't think about that. People are sitting at Saddle Up or like the bar, not the bar, the restaurant, Gringos. Tacos.
Yeah, and they think they
order
can
Uber.
Uber.
I'm like, this road is a disaster. Why would you order the Uber here? Why don't you walk 2 minutes down that way, order at that corner?
Yeah,
like people don't think of things like that.
Yeah, exactly. But I think there's another scenario with this. I also think it'll be good for the individuals that are trying to make some quick money, where they're like, I don't give a shit about my car. What I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna go and pick up all the drunk people. Like it shows you if that person's drunk, it's like
they'd rather make more money.
I'm gonna make more money.
Like school teachers, like if you're a substitute teacher, you make, if you're in a good community with like high rated schools, you make say like $100 a day. If you go into like inner city school or something that has like lower grade school, like a D or an F school, you make $120 for a day. It's gonna be tougher. The kids are more disruptive. They don't listen as well. You have a lot of altercations with kids fighting and things like that. So it's a tougher, more high stress day.
Yeah.
And they get compensated for that. People get paid more money. It's the same thing with Uber. If you're going to have a nice, easy ride, that's why like so many people want to do the Uber Black or Uber Select, because they know that the client that they're going to serve is going to be, they're paying the premium for that nice ride. They're going to be most likely just like a business professional or someone that's like with a family or has money that's going to be nice and easy going. And every once in a while you're gonna probably have like a super drunk, really like wealthy businessman or businesswoman that's just like hammered, like she's in town from Chicago or guys in from New York, like for a convention, and just gets sloppy and is acting crazy. But like very rarely, most of those people are gonna be highly professional versus like a Uber X. But even it goes the opposite way. Some of the drivers we've had for regular Uber have been horrible, dude. The ones that we've had together. Remember the one that we had here that picked us up at my parents'? It was me, you, I want to say like Jason, maybe his girlfriend. I don't know, someone else. But I had to sit in the front, and that lady was nuts. Like she seemed like she was on something.
Yeah, but those are good Ubers because then they get you there fast, man. I like.
Oh man. And then there was one time you had to pull over on the side of the highway and go take a leak.
Yeah, that was a good. That was she was
I'll give you $10
that Uber was the best Uber ever. At least they let me go take a leak. But I mean, I would be sitting there picking up all the drunk people because it's a $150 charge if they do anything in your car. Like I was recently in an Uber where an individual,
Phoenix?
yeah, they threw up.
Phoenix?
Yeah, when I was in Arizona, they threw up, but they were outside the car, and then when they got in there, the guy said that he spit on the floor. Didn't see him spit on the floor. Didn't see anything. When I look back there, there might have been like a wet spot that was like a dime size.
That's where people.
And the guy charged me $150.
People don't figure it out, dude. You didn't come to Clemson with us. We were up in Clemson, and that Friday night we were pre-gaming at my sister's apartment. We were going out downtown, so we get in the Uber, like 5-minute drive. I have my Jack and Coke with me in the Uber. I'm drinking it, sipping it, and I'm hammered, dude. And so I like get out of the car, and as I'm getting out, like bump into someone, and it spills. Like it spills kind of on my lap and in the seat. Like pieces of ice and Jack Daniels and Coke spills. I'm like 100% screwed. But I don't like, oh my God, like make it known that it happened. I just sit there like this, and the lady looks back, and I'm like, thank you so much for the ride. And as soon as she turns back around, I open up the door, slide the ice out, and I'm on my way. Never knew. And she didn't look back there. Whoever else came, like, people don't think quick like that on their feet, though. Like,
yeah, but no, the guy was looking back the whole time in my case. Like, the driver was looking back, and then he saw him spit. He's like, you just spit on the thing. And I'm like, I'm sorry, man. I'm so sorry for what occurred. Like, I'll give you a nice tip. And I gave him $20, dude, a $20 tip. So on top of the tip, top of the ride, It's $150. So that's what I'm saying.
He still charge you?
Yeah, he still charged me, and I would be. That's what I'm saying. I would be picking up drunk people all the time because spit on my ground, $150. Throw up a little bit, cool. Another $150. I'm sure I could rake in at least $1,000 a night off of just those $150 charges on top of the money that I make.
If someone like full on pukes in your car,
you got to clean it out.
Your night's done.
No, but I'm saying that
your night's
done. I'm talking about those small things with just something like that. But I mean, it's crazy that they're implementing something like this. I wonder how long it's going to take until they actually do it and what kind of effects it's really going to have. Like, we can sit here and speculate about it, but we truly don't know. I mean, what if everyone stops picking up drunk people? That'd be pretty crazy. And then you'd see actually Uber's revenue decline, because I would say a mass majority of individuals use Ubers.
Well, they make more, but they're only going to make more if people pay more, and people aren't going to pay more just because they're drunk. I guess if they're that drunk, they're just going to order it and do it. But like, people are going to be pissed if like Uber starts saying like, you're drunk, your price is this, and it's like, what?
Yeah, and you're not going to use it, or they do something like that, or the drivers say
the Surge is smart, and they've done well with that. That's a good way to get people to want to actually go into those crowded, congested areas and go pick people up by giving them extra money for doing the Surge.
Yeah, but it also is bad for people like me who's frugal and doesn't want to pay those expensive prices. So then I have to go lay on the sidewalk. It might be raining. It's Florida, dude. But then I go and lay on the sidewalk.
It's pouring.
Yeah, it's pouring out, man. Are you really gonna go look at this? But for me,
light rain.
Like I've passed out on the sidewalk. Not passed out. Like I just laid there for like 2 hours with Jace, like multiple times. I hate the surges, but I mean it's still crazy. Technology to come out. AI is insane. So here's the next segment. Entertainment. A lot of tragedies.
Yeah.
A lot of tragedies.
Suicides this week.
So potentially 3.
Big name. The actor?
Yeah.
I don't even know who that is.
So,
is he a big time celebrity?
I wouldn't say that he's a big time celebrity, but I would say he's well known enough to be up there. So the first person was Anthony Bourdain, died at the age of 61, supposedly from hanging himself, which is a tragedy. It's awful.
Oh, really? That's what they said?
Yeah.
I hadn't heard that.
So it came out that it came out that he hung himself with his bathrobe. I guess, what is it called? Sash or something like that. Whatever you tie it up with.
Really?
Yeah, he hung himself. So crazy. I mean, like, it's insane. And then he left behind an 11-year-old daughter.
It's very insane to me, man. Like, I get the contemplating of existence. Like, it goes back to Shakespeare. To be or not to be.
Yeah.
That is the question. Like, I get that. And, like, suicide is a very serious topic, and mental health, mental awareness issues are big. And that's just so insane to me that, like, especially at that age. Like, I guess I'm not that old, so I don't know. I guess, like, people always say, oh, as you get older, it gets worse. It doesn't get any better. And, like, you get depressed and stuff that you're older and you're going to die. But, like, I don't know, man. It's just crazy. And, like, it's easy for us as, like, quote-unquote commoners compared to, like, celebrities that have a lot of money and success and fame. But, like, not everyone necessarily wants that. Like, some things just happen to people, and, like, or that doesn't mean that their problems aren't any more or less severe than a regular person that's struggling financially or not as successful. You know what I mean?
No, and I agree.
Has their own demons.
And one of the other things is, it's just like with this week, like all that stuff happened, and then you have all these other influencers and these famous people. They ride the wave, and they're all talking about. I was like, stuff like this happens on a daily basis. You should push this agenda all the time. You shouldn't just push it when a famous individual. I get that they have. It's
part of the way that the world works.
But that's stupid.
There's too much stuff. There's too many agendas that need to be pushed.
No, but they push one whenever the wave happens. It's like,
you have to. That's when you have momentum. That's the way that the world works.
No, because nothing gets done with it, because you only do it in such a short time frame. Because this same thing occurred. When was it? 2 years ago, 3 years ago, when all of those celebrities committed suicide or something like that. I forget when it was.
I don't know.
They committed suicide, and they were talking about
it
again.
At the same time?
Yeah, at like the same time. I forget. Maybe it was like 2015. I think it was like 2015, something like that. But these are just.
I've never heard of that. Multiple.
What do you mean? Multiple? Are you kidding me? You've never heard of multiple celebrities committing suicide? I'm sure that this year alone, there's probably been like 6 celebrities that have committed suicide. Didn't Wee Man commit? Not Wee Man.
The short dude from.
Didn't he commit suicide? I think he overdosed.
Maybe accidental. I don't know.
So, okay, you could say an accidental overdose. Yeah, Robin Williams was
Robin
one.
Williams in 2015 or 2016.
Yeah, and there was like a few other people during that time. So thank you, Infidel31 actually updated me with that.
What?
He's the one that told me about the Robin Williams one. But that's what I'm talking about. They put there was that huge thing for Robin Williams. Like, I get it. They are individuals to have more influence, to have more, I guess, push in society. And when somebody like that passes away, then more people are going to recognize it. But if you're only recognizing something like that for that short amount of time, like I said, nothing gets done about it. You have to actually, if you want to get something, push it for an entire year. Push that agenda, the masses, everyone that has influence. If you want to get something done, once a year, push one agenda the hardest you can until there's no more pushing.
Wait, Marilyn Monroe committed suicide?
Yes.
Or that was, well, they call it like an overdose, but
Anybody that's done an overdose, that's just like the guy from the Joker,
Heath Ledger.
That they say, oh, that's an accidental overdose. No, like there's a lot of, I would say,
they know what the dose is.
Yeah, and they know these things. There's a lot of people that have committed suicide, like but like I said, Anthony Bourdain, Kate Spade, she was 55 years old. She left behind a daughter of 13, I said, and there's a rumored, I guess, suicide note that she left for her. And then just today, Jackson Odell, who's an actor who plays on The Goldbergs, which is a hit TV series, he just died at the age of 20.
Yeah, 20, I saw that. But
So
I didn't hear any details.
they don't know. No, they're not
morning.
100% sure as to why he committed suicide or how he committed suicide. But he did, and it's terrible. All these things are awful, and that's what I'm saying. Like, if you want to push a big agenda, don't push it for a small time frame. Pick one, come together as whatever like community or whatever individuals that you have within your friends group, and pick an agenda. If you actually want to push agendas to better life here on Earth, pick one, and for an entire year, set that out as your goal. You know what I mean? It's doing these short time things. It never works, man. It gets on people's mind really fast, but then it also disappears really fast. Like, it's instantaneous. So, and Anthony Bourdain, like, the crazy thing with him also was once he passed away, it was really crazy. It was really weird because then you saw like all of these people coming out of the woodwork, like every single celebrity talking about Anthony Bourdain. Like,
I haven't heard. That's like, I knew he was a big deal.
Yeah.
I didn't know how big of a deal he was, and specifically it shows like in that community that like might not be on the surface of everyday media and stuff, but like he was clearly like loved by a lot of people. That's Robin Williams' tragedy too. Like, Robin Williams was huge publicly, but he had kind of fallen off for a few years prior. Like, he was doing an independent film and stuff. He wasn't like, he crushed it in the late 80s, 90s and was like the actor of Hollywood, like the highest well-known global comedian and stuff. Like, he was big time. So like, regardless, even though he was kind of falling off, it's still big news in general that he committed suicide, but he was so well loved too, and people really, really appreciated him as a person. He had great relationships within the community and within his, inner circle. So it was very sad. I think that's what Anthony Bourdain is too. Like, people are like, he's such a great, empathetic person, like so nice, so genuine, and that's what makes it like.
But
really
I just
so
don't know.
sad.
Like with Robin Williams, like I would always I would see people be with him and like in different pictures. Like with Anthony Bourdain, and that was one of the reasons why they said there was a potential of why he committed suicide. Like, he never really hung out. Like, he did, like, they say that he hung out with people and that he did stuff, but he worked every single day. He's just been on an entire year of work, of traveling. So, like, how can you even spend time with anyone in those time frames? So it's really, like, to me, that's something that's weird. I don't know. The potential is there. They could have all just like been with him, or they could have.
It doesn't take long, man. It takes a moment to win someone's heart.
Yeah, of course, but
him meeting, especially amongst those people with schedules that are insane like that. Like, he's traveling the world. Like, oh hey, like Anthony Bourdain. It's who's a big actor? It's Leonardo DiCaprio. I'm in New York on Tuesday night. Like, his press manager set it up. Let's have a dinner, and like, even though it's a small amount of time, like he's touched a lot of lives, even if he's not hanging out with people recently. And in the short moments of time, like he was truly passionate. Like that's part of like why his show had so much success was like he asked those questions. Like he asked simple questions and he listened to the answers. And then he was able to have people share information with them. Like, dude, the more you talk to people and ask them, not invasive, but like good personal questions about who they are as a person, the more that person is likely to open up to you about things and really share with you who they are. And then in turn, they think of you so highly and they don't even know why. Yeah. But that's true of like, dude, I'm reading a book. I listened to an audiobook called Never Split the Difference. And it talks about like negotiation, all these things and like manipulating of communication and a lot of stuff. But like that, I mean, that's just the truth. You got to know that. Like if you ever meet someone and they like start asking you questions about like your childhood or like things that you're passionate about and they actually listen and answer and give you like good questions back, it's nice, right? And you think of that person highly. That's who Anthony Bourdain was as a person, I think. And you saw that in his on-air personality, but I think that's what people truly thought about him behind closed doors. I guess
I just have different, like, if I'm not, like, I have a different way of looking at things. If I'm not truly, like, even though they might be inspiring, like, I had a moment with an individual where it was great. Like, I've had that with several individuals here and there. But if I'm not closely connected to that individual, it's a sad tragedy, but I'm not going to say, oh my God, like all of this stuff, because I feel it comes off as fake to me. It comes off as like you're just doing it because these other people are saying it about this individual, which, no fault. Like, great guy. I just don't.
Are you talking about like from a celebrity standpoint or from like a fan standpoint?
Well, both.
Because I feel like there's a lot of people that are just fans of him, man. Like they just loved his work. And like, I mean, I've known him for years, and I knew like a little bit of his story. Like he used to be a heroin addict, I guess, and stuff.
Yeah, he used to
be
an addict, and
he got clean, and like he was a chef, and like he kind of just like spewed out on the map and like took off with his show.
He came out with his he first became known in the early 2000s. Well, he had his best-selling book, The Kitchen Confidential: Adventures in the Culinary Underbelly, and that's what actually sprung him into the stardom that he had. Okay. The one show that I remember him from and that I watch all the time was No Reservations. That was his main show. He has that. Now he has it ended. Unknown. Yeah, he has Parts Unknown, but that was the one. I think it ran from like 2003 to 2012 or something like that. But like when I watched it, like he seemed like an amazing dude. He also seemed like a badass. He seemed like he was just true. Like he just spoke whatever was on the top of his head, like how he actually felt. He would say if something was bad, he would say it was good. Like you could get that kind of feeling from him. But like I said, I don't know if it's all these other people that come out, like if they're doing it because they feel that connection or if they're just putting up a front. It's weird. It's a weird space.
Say, like, he'll say it's bad. I feel like Guy Fieri says everything's good.
Oh yeah, Guy Fieri does say everything.
Dude, this is so good. This is the best I've ever had.
That's why I like No Reservations, and I hate Drivers, Divers, and Dives. Yes,
just like Jimmy Fallon. That's so good. You're so great. You're so funny. It's like Jimmy Fallon. Shut up.
So we do have an individual. So yes, Infidel 31. He was a heroin addict. He actually had a few other addictions as well. But I think he's been clean for like 10, 15 years now. Something crazy. So, and that's terrible.
That, like, he openly said that he was.
Yeah.
That was open knowledge.
Exactly. He openly said it. And then Kate Spade and Jackson Odell, those are all terrible. A little bit less as a tragedy, but sort of funny because I have a great joke for it, is Vince Vaughn got a DUI last night. Looks like he couldn't dodge that one. You get it because he was in dodgeball.
He tried to dodge that one.
He did.
Even like the article you sent me is like the dodgeball actor. It's like, really, that's what he's known for, like,
or the wedding crasher.
Yeah, but I mean, he's in everything. I guess dodgeball's really like his top success.
I would say that he is in everything, but I would say he was the main actor in that one. I don't know a lot of ones.
In what?
In dodgeball.
Oh, 100%. 100% main actor.
But I don't know a lot of ones where he's not just like
kind of a side, or like he's one of many big parts. He's not like the big
That's
part.
What I'm saying. He's never been. He's just been the co-actor or just like a cameo role or something like that. Because he was in the movie with Brad Pitt. Was it Brad Pitt? Mr. and Mrs. Smith. It was Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie, right? And he was in that movie. Those have two like you're never remember.
Which one?
Mr. and Mrs. Smith, where
He was in that.
You see, you don't even remember. Yes, he was actually like the partner with Brad Pitt. Like he was the one that ran like the spy company, and he was the guy. So you don't even remember that. He was in The Wedding Crashers. He was in that stupid Google movie. But yeah, he was in a lot of things. You got a DUI, man. So hey, if you can't dodge a ball, what is it? No, if you can't dodge a car, you can't dodge a DUI. There you go. Yeah. That's all I have for entertainment. I guess a scary movie called The Hereditary came out, and everyone's saying that it super scary. I haven't seen it, so I don't have a lot of stuff on that. Let's see. Something that I recently read, it's sort of old news, is Michelle and Barack Obama are going to be starting their own Netflix series, movies and television shows. And a lot of people are having mixed feelings about that.
Yeah, I'm so confused.
Well, I would have mixed feelings about it too, because basically what you're doing is you're profiting off of the presidency and you're moving into another. I get that.
Okay,
like he
but
has
come on, dude. Like the speaker fees that anyone gets are just absurd. Like who cares about they're doing a project to make movies and like they don't need the money, dude. Trust me, they don't need the money.
Oh, they're on a multi-year contract. They're
cool. They can still. President Obama can get $100,000 every day of the week to go speak somewhere. Like,
bro, he's gonna be probably making close to what Jerry Seinfeld made on his two things, which Jerry Seinfeld made $100 million.
Okay.
So why give him $100 million when you have other creators, other people that
he was a former president of the United States.
Yeah, I just don't. I think it's silly.
I don't know
as
why
well.
people are so mad
Because you're just
about
giving more power to somebody that already has power. Why not?
Okay, stop working for a corporation then. Like,
what do you mean?
Like,
it's
a rat race, dude.
I
like,
don't get what you're saying. That's not working for a corporation. You're not giving. So here's an opportunity. We have one opportunity.
That's not working for a corporation. When you work for a corporation, you build up
this man right here
elites.
Has 30 years of content creation under his belt. He's been working day and night every single day for the past 30 years, doing the best he can, making the best that he can, having great content.
Okay.
He should be the one to get that role. But then you have a president here, no content creation, no nothing, but he was the president. Put him in that slot. It makes no sense to me. That's why I don't like the part where we just give people with power more power. That's just like how Malcolm Gladwell.
That's just the way it goes.
Malcolm Gladwell has the thing
people
about
care
that.
What they have to say.
Do you know who Malcolm Gladwell is?
I've heard the name.
Malcolm Gladwell. He's a philosopher. He's an individual. He's very highly educated. That's one of the things he talks about. He's like, what I don't understand is why the richest people in the world get things for free. They get anything they want to them for free. It's like they don't work for anything.
But it makes sense
it
logically. It does, though.
It makes no
sense. Naturally, it does.
I just told you. Wait.
If you are the most important person in the room, everyone else wants you.
But
so they're going to give you everything so that you can help them.
Okay, but what I just said to you.
The thing. Barack Obama is so powerful and his word is so influential that it's more beneficial for me to pay him $100,000 to come speak at my thing, because the profits, the return on that investment are going to be, say he comes and speaks at a school. Now I'm going to have 80% more applications and make $500,000 on having 10 extra kids come to my school and pay tuition than I would if I didn't have him speak. So the return on that investment is way better than paying you $10, even though you've been speaking your whole life. No one cares what you have to say. So you're going to go up there and spend $10 on you, but I'm going to get 0 applications on top of that.
No,
it takes money to make money. And that's why something
illogical.
With charities, we get mad at people for making money off of charities, for running charity events and spending money on caviar and nice things. We get mad at those people for spending money in order to gain more money, and we don't get mad at corporations for outsourcing and for drilling offshore and doing all these bad things that are hurting people to make more money and make more profits. We don't get mad at companies for doing immoral things.
What do you mean?
We don't get mad at companies for outsourcing.
Are you kidding me? That was a huge thing. That's why
for the last 50 years they've been doing it, and they're still outsourcing. Companies are starting to slowly bring jobs back. Oh, Ford, we're bringing 10,000 jobs back to Detroit, but we still outsource 500,000 to Mexico.
You're talking about manufacturing jobs. Nobody wants
any kind of
nobody
job,
nobody wants.
People want the cheapest
jobs.
labor, dude. Our friend, one of my friends, was like, "Stop doing these calls yourself. That you could pay someone in India $3 to do." Are you kidding me?
No,
and it's okay for me to do that rather than pay someone $10 here to contract a U.S. worker for
No,
$10
but what
an
you're
hour
saying-
to call people. I'll contract a Indian
No,
employee.
see,
employee for
that's one of the
$3 an hour.
things that all the companies got backlash on, and
They got a little bit of backlash.
no,
but
every single company got backlash on that. That's why nowadays, in the phone, if you talk to somebody at customer support on the phone and it's somebody from India, they hang up. Nobody wants to talk to anyone from India because of the outsourcing issue. They took all those jobs back. Manufacturing jobs, no, they don't have those here because we don't want those jobs. There are
people that want manufacturing jobs.
They have manufacturing jobs here in the States right now. There's actually a city. I think they.
I know you told me about it. You told me the story,
there's a
but
company,
that's because no one wants to be in that country.
No, it's here in America.
No one wants to be in that part of the country.
Dude, it's a
small town with nothing
manufacturing.
there, and nobody wants to work those jobs. People work manufacturing jobs in Orlando, Florida, for $60,000 a year. Yeah,
they'll be making $100,000
yeah, but it's
there.
in the middle of nowhere in Kansas.
It doesn't
no one
matter.
wants to live there.
People
will work those jobs.
Nobody would work those jobs.
Look at all these construction jobs. People are working them.
That's a construction job. I'm talking about a manufacturing plant. Nobody wants to sit there on a line and do those kinds of things. That's why they outsource the work. And that's exactly what happened was they saw a dwindling amount of employees and they also saw a cost reduction
It was cost, dude. It was not dwindling amount of
it
employees.
was
All
both.
those plants? No, it was
You're
not.
talking about
I'm talking about the
about
cars.
Detroit City thing. That's a completely different thing because that's all about material.
American car manufacturers was the largest part of our economy through the 50s, 60s, 70s. And we outsourced it all to Mexico and Japan and China. And then we didn't do a good job anyways, and we got beat by foreign competitors. It was a disaster.
Because the
horrible American economic policy.
Because American steel was so expensive. Raw materials were so expensive. There's no way that they could pay American employees for that. But there is manufacturing things.
Dude, it was already working, and they did it to cut profits because it was
they
competition to make things more expensive.
Oh, yeah. They were going to go.
It was to increase profits, too.
They were going to go under. They were 100% going to go under if they didn't do something like that.
I don't know. I don't think so.
All these other car manufacturers. Are you kidding me? All these other manufacturers.
Yeah, it's self-created. It's self-inflicted competition that's creating these margin compressions. That's not good for anybody. But regardless, whatever, all I'm saying in general is that it takes money and investment. Even if you're trying to make money for the American Red Cross, you can't just put on a half-ass show. You have to pay for having waiters. You have to pay for having alcohol. That's how you get donations.
This is the thing. Now you're just basically falling into that same mindset. That's your only mindset.
The truth.
That'll be your only mindset going forward. How is that the truth? How's it ever been proven the truth? Explain that to me. How's it ever been proven the truth that an individual
it's a natural proven.
No, it's not.
It's natural instinct
never.
that the leader of the group is the one that gets the most praise, that gets the most quality.
I'm saying
for the
that.
Least amount of work.
So here's a leader. Now here's this other guy that could be a potential leader. You just keep giving the leader power. You don't give the individual that has the potential, a high potential.
They have to create that potential for themselves.
They've created the potential.
Barack Obama came from nothing, man.
No, I'm saying
he came from a single mother in Hawaii. He got himself into Harvard Law School. He went into Chicago and worked in the Senate and pushed, and worked very hard.
He did 2 terms. Okay. And then here's the funny thing about it. He has enough money that he can make these shows himself. If he wants to profit from them, instead of going to Netflix, do it yourself. You have the ability. No, wait. Look. Here's another logical sense. You have the ability to do that thing yourself. Okay. Why take away that slot from an individual that doesn't have the finances to do that? And you're just going to take that away from them, that opportunity.
Maybe he has a friend that works for Netflix. No one knows. These people
Netflix,
are elitists that have
Netflix really wants them. You're taking it away. You have the ability to do it yourself. Go do it on your own. Go do it yourself.
Man.
It's all about free. You need to listen to Malcolm Gladwell in regards to that, and you'll get a better understanding of what I'm talking about. The people at power shouldn't be receiving things for free. It's just like he talked about on his podcast.
Pay celebrities to come to his clubs. They pay them.
Here we go.
Come pop bottles of Dom Perignon and run up $100,000 tab, and then we'll pay you $50,000. Why? Because then they bring a bunch more people there.
So this
is return on investment.
This is Malcolm Gladwell's. One of his things was about the golf courses. They're private golf courses in LA, but the people pay for it. You guys pay for that private golf course. You cannot use the private golf course, but you have to pay for it. It's been written into the Constitution 10 years ago because they didn't want to pay their taxes on it. The golf courses did. So the individuals that live in LA pay for it, but they can't ever go to it.
Okay.
how do you not see that being completely irrational,
that sounds
illogical?
very irrational.
That's exactly
That's
how
not the
this is.
same thing.
It's exactly
It's
the
not
same
even
kind
close.
of way. Yes, it is.
No, it's not even close.
You're
dude.
giving
I
money
don't know
to
the
it.
context of that. You're just giving.
You're giving. That's exactly the
surface
context.
details. There's probably something else in it. It's probably like they bought into the community with a
No,
written
no.
thing in the HOA that potentially, if you join this community, there'll be a private golf course
No.
that could appreciate your home value, so you will have
No.
to pay a certain fee.
No,
and
that none
I'm
of that.
sure there's something.
No,
involved
that's
in that.
not how that
You
happened.
don't know. You didn't study it.
Malcolm
You
Gladwell
read
did.
one little article, and this guy said something about it, and he has an agenda. Like, whatever, dude. I
No,
don't care.
see, that's what I'm
Everyone has their own
saying.
opinion, but I'm just saying, like, I don't know how you're going to get mad at the president. Dude, people are just mad in
I'm
general.
not getting
that
mad at the president. I'm saying that I
people are
see
just
it
mad
being
in general that
silly.
the Netflix is associated with a Democratic president. I'm canceling my subscription. I'm like, what?
What? I
heard
don't
someone
care.
say that, so
Do
I
I
don't do
care about that? At the end of the day, I don't care about politics. I'm talking about that there's other individuals out there that have brilliant minds. They're super creative. They
might get a shot too.
They might. He's a for sure.
cares?
That should never happen. If he has
So what is he gonna do? Like,
listen, if you have the ability to create it yourself, go create it yourself. Do not go and try and pry into a company that people are trying to utilize because they can't do it themselves. You cannot do it yourself.
Bro.
You have to have that company.
Maybe he doesn't.
You
want
have
to do
the
it himself.
ability. That's what I'm saying. There's
Netflix
a lot of
wants him.
There's
Like you
there's
said,
a lot of
Netflix wants
things
him,
that
so
are
Netflix
just.
is,
But it's
here's money,
it's
dude.
silly.
Come do this.
It's illogical to me. I think that it's.
So you're telling me that if you're Barack Obama,
corrupt.
you wouldn't do it? It's like
No.
Russ. Russ is like, I
would
created
do
this
it.
myself.
No. Exactly.
But I
Wait.
wouldn't- If I didn't entertain this shit, I'd be stupid. Like, he's like, I did all
wait,
this
wait,
myself,
wait.
but he signed a record label. He signed with a huge record label. He's like, y'all are throwing this money at me. I'd be stupid not to do it.
Did you not see what he talked about in that though? He split with them. Like he didn't sign with them like fully. It was like a split.
But he got a
sale.
huge check. Because
Yes, but
that's what
Obama's
everybody's
not
at the
gonna
bottom
get
is
a
like,
huge
I do it myself.
check.
I'll pay for everything. I do it all. And then a huge record label says, yo, we'll give you $2 million. And they made 50 grand in the last 10 years working random jobs while they're rapping underground. Like,
Infidels-
of course they're going to sign a $2 million contract.
They're talking about that Netflix does push that agenda though. So
What agenda?
what were you saying that they're pushing the Democratic agenda?
Yeah, I know. That's why everyone's mad about it. They're going to cancel the subscription. No one cares about what you're talking about.
What do you mean? Mine's the most logical. I
No
don't
one
care
cares about that.
Who cares about
People only
politics?
care about the politics.
What, dude? That doesn't make any sense to
I
me.
don't know, dude. Everyone
Politics.
cares about politics, and no one knows anything about
That's the
them.
next one that
I don't know anything about
the
them.
next
I talk about them like I know
episode I want to talk to you is all about not politics, all about culture and politics and language. None of that stuff makes any sense to me. None of this, like you said, people care about their Democrat. Do I care? I don't care.
I guess you don't because
They
you're
coulda
a loser.
give-
Like what?
They could have given.
You don't care about politics?
I don't care at all. There's
You're
no
an idiot.
need for me to care.
Our entire
No,
existence.
see, it influences you. It doesn't influence me. I have no.
It affects
influence
your
by
entire
you.
existence.
It might
What?
affect me, but it doesn't influence me. I don't see anything.
Yes, it does.
Whatever they say,
Your
I would
daily
say
output,
that
you were
it's-
working jobs that you hated forever to make money to live in the rat race. Like, what are you talking
But-
about? Politics are directly tied to that. They stem the beginning. If universal basic income was a politically established policy
No,
right
no, no,
now,
no.
your day-to-day would be
But
completely
I'm
different.
saying that I don't care. They don't influence me by any means. They're going to affect me no matter what, and I don't care. There's nothing I can do about it. I'm not going to sit
You have the
here.
power to vote.
I don't care enough.
Yeah, but you have the power to vote. So
They're
you
not
can't
going to
say that there's
influence
nothing you
me.
can do. You're
No, there's
choosing not
nothing.
to participate.
I choose not to do it because
You
I don't
choose
feel
not to, but you don't have. That doesn't mean you don't have the willpower to. You do.
No, I don't have the willpower because I could care less. I don't
that's
care
your
about
choice.
either
You're
party.
a
Look,
dumb
look.
ass.
I don't
for not
care
caring
about
at
either.
all.
I don't care about either party. The only time that I would care about a party coming in is if a dictator came in, and then I would say, yeah, maybe I should go vote because I don't want to have a dictator.
Yeah.
That's about it. I don't care. There's nothing that you could say.
One day you'll
Oh, Democrats, they're trying to push this agenda. Republicans are trying to push this agenda. Dude, they all say
So you don't care about
nonsense.
climate change. You
What
don't
I
care
do-
about free religion.
So with climate change, I don't care
the Second
about
Amendment.
climate change. I don't care about politics in regards to climate change because the people on this earth are the ones that need to get it done themselves. Politics does not play.
Governmental policy, dude. Do you understand?
That's
that
just like
everything-
wait, Elon
90
Musk.
90
Elon
plus
Musk.
percent
Wait,
of
Elon
the population.
Musk. So Elon Musk is doing it himself. There you go.
Oh my God! But 90% plus of the population is driven by the economic state of their country, their financial pocket. How much money's coming in and how much money's going out? Do I have a job? Am I secure? Can I live? These are the things that drive majority of people. And so economic policy in regards to climate change and environmental protection, That influences the market. So the majority of people that are voting are directly influenced by whatever the market's doing. If you take away jobs like drilling, offshore drilling, you cut jobs there, but you create jobs in solar. These things affect climate change, are direct results of political regulation on the marketplace.
That's where you're wrong. You should have more belief in yourself than you do in a political system.
Oh my God, but it's the truth of it, dude.
Believe
it doesn't
in
matter.
Believe in the people. Believe in what you're doing. Don't be influenced so heavily by politics. It's going to affect your life regardless.
I'm
but
in the mortgage
you can
industry.
change.
The mortgage interest rates have gone up a whole point. They've gone from average of 3.75 to 4 to 4.75 to 5 because of numerous things that are going on in economics.
That's completely different compared to
It has to do with regulation, inflation, trade wars, economic policy, the Federal Reserve, everything.
The Federal Reserve isn't the government. The Federal Reserve is
separate.
Is a
correct.
private institution,
but
and that's completely different. No,
bro,
when
they,
you have a
they
private
mark short-term interest rates on treasury bonds for the United States government that are backed by the government. Like just because they're a third party, not associated with the government, doesn't mean that they have nothing to do with politics.
They have nothing to do. That's I agree with
God,
that.
I know.
I'm saying that I agree with you. Federal Reserve, like that thing is terrible.
It's a disaster.
That's a completely different. That's a completely different.
But it's not
topic.
only that. That's what I'm saying. The government trade wars affect interest rates. Dude, look at what happened to steel and aluminum prices. They skyrocketed because of these potential trade talks and tariffs.
No, he did
between China.
No, Donald Trump put the tariffs on them. He didn't. There was no talks. He just did it.
Dude, there's talks of China saying that they're not going to trade with us.
Yeah, China and Canada and Mexico because of what we did,
the prices
because
of steel
what
and
we
aluminum.
did to them. And
Correct.
those are all business deals.
But
I
that
mean, it's not
affects
gonna
economic policy in the marketplace.
I mean, I
and
guess.
And in turn affects people's pockets. That's what they care about. That's what people vote on. They vote on what they want their economy to be good. They want to have a steady job and they want to make money. They want to be complacent with life, right?
But that's silly. I don't see life
But
that
that's
way.
what a lot of people are, dude. That's what the majority of the herd of sheep is doing.
Oh man, we got way off topic on
I gotta go,
entertainment.
I'm done. I'm getting way too worked up right now. Wrap this shit up.
Sports. On to sports.
The Warriors swept the Cavs, dude.
I won $50 from that. There we go.
Why?
Because I bet that they were gonna sweep. And
with who?
One of my friends, and they said that no, that's impossible. He was like,
really?
I don't know when the last time a sweep was in the championship because I don't watch.
It was when the Cavs got swept by the Spurs, probably in like 2008.
Yeah, that's what he's like. It's been like 8-10 years since that's ever happened. And I'm like, well, I mean, today's the day.
Yeah. Rafael Nadal won his 11th French Open today. That's such a stupid number. French Open's a major championship, dude. He won 11 of them.
What? Oh, you mean like
Rafael
11?
Nadal has won 11 French Opens.
French Opens. Okay.
It's a major championship. The best players in the world play, even if they're like on the brink of injury.
But I thought you said that like 3 of the best players got hurt or something.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that are out right now.
And then what was the last?
Still, he won his 11th. Like, come on, it's so gross.
What's the last thing? Is the Capitals won the Stanley Cup?
Yeah, whatever. Who cares about hockey?
Who does care about hockey? And
Capitals finally stopped choking. They were choking every year. They're like #1 in the whole conference, and they lose first round. And this year they just put it together, made it happen.
Well, then the Cinderella team came through, the brand new team. So those are only 3 things. So there's not going to be really any sports coming months, just baseball.
Yeah, it's boring. This is the boring time of the year. As soon as the finals and NHL, because the middle of baseball season too, like nobody cares. It's like after the All-Star break, it's pretty cool, and then like football starts getting started. And people get super excited.
Well, people only care about baseball, spring training, first 10 games.
Like how cyclical is
All-Star
life? How disgusting
game
is life, dude? How cyclical it is.
Yeah, of course. It's terrible.
Year over year. People are like, I like places where the seasons change. I'm like, why? So you know that your life is more cyclical than like when you're in Florida, where it's just like hot and then like cold for like a month.
Yeah, but that's still it's still cyclical.
It's not as cyclical as like having like full on seasons where like there's snow on the ground for 2 months at a time, and then, like spring and then fall and
the diameter of the circle is just smaller.
Yeah,
that's basically all it is.
Like, oh my god, every year like, Chris, here comes the holidays. And like,
well, we know what else is cyclical.
Existence.
No, voting for a president.
Yeah, I know. I can't wait for the next election cycle, man. I can't wait.
Oh man, talking to you about politics is great. We yelled on this one. That's it for sports. That's it for entertainment. Go buy yourself a electric Kitty Hawk flyer. See if you can fly it somewhere reasonable and let us know about it. And that's about it. Oh, you guys can check us out on our Instagram at SnakeFang Podcast. Send us an email at snakefangpodcast@gmail.com. Or follow us on Twitter at SnakeFangPod. And that's where we post all of our shows when we go live or when we are going to go live and stuff like that. So check us out. Send us an email.
Live?
Yeah, we were live.
Joke. I know.
Yeah, Infidel is saying that one of the individuals that's been talking this entire time, thank you for watching. Anything that affects your wealth or the lack thereof is politics, was the last thing. Yeah.